What's up, guys? It's the Dungeon Master. Welcome to the channel. So first things first, I'd like you to pause the video real quick and go down into the description and click that link. That's a link to my Instagram page. Now, I'm not doing this just to ask you to follow me. This YouTube channel is an accompanying channel to that Instagram page. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth between the two accounts, and you might not get the whole picture if you're not following. So go ahead, click the link and give me a follow. And if you're here because of Instagram, thank you for your support. So first things first, I wanted to kind of explain what this channel is going to be. As I said, it's going to be an accompanying channel to my Instagram page, and if you don't follow the Instagram page, you might not get the full story. But for those of you who are just going to follow the Instagram or subscribe to the YouTube channel, this is basically just going to be me explaining some concepts of Dungeons & Dragons and of role-playing games in general, as well as breaking down some of my own stuff that I use for my games, as well as posting shenanigans from the games, funny occurrences, natural run rolls, etc., etc. For this video, I'm going to be breaking down what's in my Dungeon Master's bag of tricks. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. First thing you're going to need as a Dungeon Master is paper and pencil. I have both this coil sheet here, I guess you could call it, coil notebook. I've forgotten the actual term for this thing, but you know what I'm talking about. So this thing will just let you rip out pages and give them to your players if they need to jot down some helpful information. Also, if you need to just record health points for a fight sequence and then rip it off and toss it out, this is very, very helpful for that. This is more the type of thing that you would need in order to keep track of things that did not go according to plan in your game that you want to keep track of for a later session, just in case you forget and then it comes back to bite you, which I guarantee you will happen. So the next thing you need are obviously dice. And I'm going to be breaking down the function of the dice, probably over on my Instagram page or in a short video later on. But as of right now, I have two sets of dice. I have these, which are normal sized set. Got them for about $12. They're made by Chessex, and I bought them down at Barnes & Noble, about a 10-minute drive from here. These I got off of Amazon for about $12. They are miniatures. They're tiny, tiny little dice. My old Dungeon Master actually had them, and so that's where I decided to get them. But yeah, these things are absolutely minuscule, and they're fun as heck to roll, though. So those are the dice that I have. You only really need one set, but I would suggest having at least two, just in case one of your players forgets to bring theirs. Also, there's an app for that. There's an app for everything these days, but there's an app for that. And I'll go into apps again at a future date in a future video. The third thing that you're really going to need as a Dungeon Master is what I like to call DM's notebook. What this basically is just an accumulation of documents that consist of your game. So like character sheets, maps, etc., etc. Example of a character sheet, example of a map. I'm not going to unfold it all the way, but you can kind of get the gist of that. As well as I said earlier in the video, scrap paper for recording health points during combat encounters. So the one thing that I do not like about my own personal setup is this Dungeon Master's notebook. I would personally recommend a 3-ring binder because constantly, whenever somebody asks a question and I have to find something in order to answer that question, I have to flip through, I have to parse through all of these different papers and in order to find that information. And instead I could just flip to it in a 3-ring binder if I had a 3-ring binder. So hole punch, 3-ring binder, definite improvement over this. The last type of thing that every Dungeon Master should have is props. Now, this may call for foam infrastructure and miniatures, if that is what your campaign calls for. I personally don't use them. My players don't use them. But if that is how you choose to conduct your campaign, more power to you. I personally only use two. The first of which is a tablet, or this could just as easily be a phone or an iPod Touch or some sort of Android device. The main focus of this is music or background noise. A market if you're in a town, or rustling leaves if you're in the woods, or chirping crickets if you're in a field, or a light rain if you're in a swamp. The second type of prop that I would suggest is something that is specific to your gaming table. For instance, my gaming table is long and narrow. At the very end of it, there is a window, which we usually put the shade down. We line up candles in the middle of the table, and we light them all. And this gives a really, really nice spooky effect on the afternoons when we decide to game. And the sun is behind the clouds, and all of the shades are down, and not much light is getting in the room. And this is pretty much the only source of light. It's really, really cool to see. It sets a really nice vibe for the gaming table, and helps us get into the mindset of whatever we happen to be doing at that point in time. So yeah, props, DM's notebook, paper and pencil, and dice. I really hope you guys have enjoyed the video, have taken something away from it, and by all means, follow the Instagram account, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I promise we have more great stuff on the way. So until then, roll high, my friends.